All right.
Okay. Welcome everybody to the February 15, 2022 ARB meeting being held by Zoom. And I'd like to find out who we have here present tonight. I'm going to ask that you all unmute yourselves, identify yourselves, and let us know which application you're here on.
Jim Hume here for 25 Sunset Lane, the tennis court without the fence.
Thank you, Mr. Hume. Anybody here for 20 Moneybog?
Yeah, that's me, Wayne Stack. I'm the owner of 20 Moneybog.
Thank you, Wayne. 24 Maple Street.
Yes, James DeBella here, 24 Maple Street.
Thank you. 77 Dune Road.
Sal Iannone.
And Richard
Thank you,
Brown.
Sal.
Judy Camion for Dune Road.
Okay. And 22 Sunset Lane.
That's me. I'm Ben Fugua. I'm the architect.
Okay. All right. If we could start with the whole, I don't think we have any minutes to approve. So if we could start with Mr. Hume, 22 Sunset Lane for the tennis court and fence.
Good evening. As indicated, James N. Hume, 323 Mill Road, West Hampton Beach. As we discussed last time, there is not going to be any fence on this grass tennis court. I believe council has confirmed that. I also confirmed that myself with the building inspector. So I spoke to my client nonetheless about doing some form of screening, and I don't know if you've seen it or not, but we did submit a plan that provides for some privet along Sunset Lane with a gap for access, but very low impact visually, since there is no fence and the court itself is grass. So I think that would be more than appropriate. 4-foot high privet hedge along the street, the Sunset Lane part of the street property.
Okay, any board members want to comment on this?
Works for me.
No, I'm fine.
No, I have no issues with this.
Allegra?
Works for me.
Okay. Chris?
Yeah, looks great.
Andrea?
I'm fine with it.
Okay. It's a 4-foot high privet hedge, Mr. Hume?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and do we know what it's on center?
I don't, but I presume that a privet hedge is solid, so sufficiently dense to present a solid face.
Can we just throw a number there? So,
sure. Do you have an idea of what an appropriate number would be?
3 feet?
Fine.
Okay, if you have to come back and change it, just so that we have some indication that it'll be a tight
Sure.
fence.
Sure.
Okay.
That's
So
fine.
can we get a motion to approve this application?
I'll make the
Subject
motion.
to
Right.
a 4-foot privet hedge, 3 feet on center, 4 feet high, 3 feet on center.
Make the motion.
I second the motion.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Fine.
Thank you. Good luck with the project.
Thank you very much. Good evening to you all.
Good
Good night.
evening. Just bear with me. Trying to get this up on the computer.
Somebody's raising their hand, but I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Carrie, it's Paulina Giampietro and Barry Linton from Beechwood ONAC LLC. We just want to make sure that we didn't get called, so we just wanted to let you know we're here. Or I don't know.
No. You didn't get called.
No, yeah, they were going through the names, so I just wanted to let you know we are here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The new applications are Walter and Lori Steck, 20 Moneybog Lane. This is to construct a 2-story addition for a garage. with common room above and enclosed wrap deck for sunroom per ZBA approval, January 20, 2022.
Vote?
Who do we have on this application?
Wayne Steck. Do I make a presentation? Do I speak or let you guys talk first?
No, just let me see if I can get this. I'm at a handicap. I had a little surgery yesterday and I'm a little behind on this. Okay, if you could please tell us about the application.
Okay, so it was actually part of a renovation that I met with you maybe 2 years ago. And I didn't have zoning approval, but my hot water heater burst. So I divided the application into 2 parts. I was able to fix the part that didn't need any variances or changes. And then I just got my approval about a month ago for the garage in the front. So I don't know if anyone looked at the house. You'll see the front of the house doesn't have any siding on it yet because I knew that this was going to complete the original design, which is a copper roof over the existing porch. So it'll become a screened-in porch. And I'm adding a 1.5 car garage with an art studio above in the front of the house where a portion of the driveway is. All the materials will match what's existing that was approved at your last hearing. So the stone, the siding, the roofing, the windows, everything will be exactly the same on the existing house on the 3 sides that are already completed.
Okay, and the setback looks like, let me
I think
roll
it's
this
about
up.
8 feet instead of 20 feet.
7'4", I see.
That sounds right.
Okay,
I have a unique house where my driveway is not on any street. I don't have any street frontage. My driveway is like a right of way through to the end of Moneybog Road.
okay. The board have any comments, questions?
No,
No, you're just matching existing conditions. So. I don't.
looks good to me.
What's the extent of the copper roof?
The copper roof is just going to cover the existing porch. And I don't know if anyone went out to the site, but I put a copper cap on the chimney. It would be the same. It starts copper, then it turns black, and eventually one day I guess it'll be green, but I don't know, 50 years from now.
Well, maybe sooner. Any questions from the board?
No.
Can we get a motion to approve this application?
I'll make the motion.
We have a second.
I'll second it.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Good luck with the project.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next we have the application for James DeVella, 24 Maple Street. Renovations throughout the single-family dwelling, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, including adding half a bath and install egress well. Renovation of kitchen and bathroom, reconstruct side entry deck, maximum 3 feet beyond the chimney, replace the siding, the roofing, doors and windows, also for the existing detached 1-car garage. Who's going to speak on this application?
Yes, this is James DeVella, present.
Thank you, sir. Ready when you are.
We acquired the property and realized that we had a significant amount of rot to the building structure because it was built before pressure treated wood and termite damage. We then proceeded to strip some of the siding to see the extent of how bad the rot went, realized that we had to rebuild the north side of the wall, which necessitated us wanting to strip all of the existing finish from the fascias, and then to find the problem with the leaky roof and flashing against the masonry, which has forced us to put a a new asphalt roof as well. So we wanted to follow suit with a, as you can see from the photos, board and batten, certain teed vinyl siding, surround, and then do an interior finish, as mentioned, with new hardwood floors throughout, taking advantage of what's there, upgrading electrical services, upgrading to gas, fuel, and upgrading the windows and doors. We then want to apply some type of a new finish to the freestanding existing garage as well, and bring some power and windows to that structure.
Just trying to blow up this. Questions from the board?
Oh.
Chris, Mike?
Yeah, so this is solely for the exterior of the garage. And then you have a little side stoop. Is that part of it too, or is that just you have to cut back?
We wanted to rebuild the side porch
Okay.
and increase it to actually gain clearance around the masonry chimney,
Gotcha. I see that. Okay.
because that rotted out as well. And that was one of the points of infiltration.
You're gonna match the same detail you have on the front. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, so we're proposing obviously new pressure treated wood framing, 2x10s, and then covering it in Apex and Trex.
All right.
Anybody else? Mike?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Anybody else? If not, can we get a motion to approve this application?
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Good evening.
Good evening to you.
Yeah.
All right, next we have the application for Richard Brown and Mary Otisey, 77 Dune. I'm sorry?
Otzi.
Otsy. Sorry about that.
Okay.
77 Dune Road. This is for an in-ground swimming pool, 10 by 60, with a patio, 215 square feet. The decks are 658 square feet. An enclosure fence in the front yard, including the driveway relocation. Who's going to speak?
Sal?
Sal, thank you. You got it. You got the mic.
He's muted. You gotta unmute yourself.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Sorry
Much
about that. As you described, we want to construct a swimming pool in the front yard of the 77 Dune Road. And as you said, it's 10 by 60. We have some wood decking, we have some patio, and we have fencing enclosing the pool area. So it's going to be a 1-inch black mesh fence. The decking is going to be wood, and the patio is going to be a gray stone. And I have the landscape architects with us tonight and the owners, if they want to speak about the landscaping.
Can we start with the materials, if you could work from the roof down?
Well, there is no roof. This is a patio at grade.
Okay.
It's a pool at grade. There's nothing elevated other than
Oh, I'm sorry.
other than a 4-foot wall, a
I'm
seating
looking at
wall.
the wrong drawing.
Yes.
Okay, you have the landscape architect here.
Yes. Judy and Elaine.
Hi, everyone. Thank you
Hi,
so much
Judy.
for having us join the meeting today.
So I guess
You
they
want-
want to describe the plantings that you're putting for the screening around the neighbors.
Sure. So we have a combination of different types of conifers and evergreen trees and shrubs at heights appropriate to screen the neighbors to ensure that no neighbors will be impacted by the improvements that are proposed.
Okay, can you just describe what they are?
Yes, we have a selection of, again, different shrubs that are climate appropriate, from a yellow foliage cedrus to a blue chamaecyparis. We have an evergreen magnolia and two types, one that has a beautiful bronze foliage, one that's all green. And then there's a cryptomeria. So there's going to be a variety of shrubs and trees that will be layered to provide density, going from really the ground up to the full height of the adjacent houses. So that, yeah.
This will be on the east and west property line as well as the front.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And then we have a secondary layer that's at our perimeter. We have the trees with the large scale shrubs. Then we have a secondary layer of medium-sized shrubs, so that we really can densify those perimeters to create wonderful evergreen year-round screening.
Could I just make one additional comment to what Judy's saying? This is, the property is all in gravel at this point and has been since we bought it. And part of that was because there was a house across the street which had a right of way with us. And so as long as that right of way existed, which allowed people to come through to the ocean, and then we used the bay, which we didn't use, it wasn't possible to have any privacy there. So we just kept it in gravel. The town of Southampton 2 years ago bought that house, and now it's marshland. Before that, it's been demolished. Before that, it was VRBO'd out, and so all kinds of people came through the front yard and then went around back to the beach. So I think that's why we're trying to, improve it. I mean, for ourselves, but certainly we've talked to both of the neighbors on both sides, and I mean, for them, I think this is an improvement to their properties.
Yeah, both neighbors were talked to, and they both were not in objection to the project.
East and west.
Yes.
East and west, yes.
And what about the fence?
We got a black wire mesh, 1 inch, with a black post, 4 foot high.
And where is it going?
It's indicated on the site plan. I don't know if you have the drawings. It's going to go along the east boundary. It's going across the front along Dune Road, and it's going to return between the driveway and the pool itself, and then enclose the pool area.
Okay, and it's 4 foot high?
No, it's 4 foot, yes. Everything's 4 foot.
Okay. Do you need a gate? Do you need a gate to go from front to back?
There's a gate up by the pool from the house. There's a gate as you enter the pool area, a self-closing gate.
No, I meant is that lawn in between the house and the pool?
There's no lawn.
There's no lawn.
No lawn. So what is all that?
It's going to be natural plantings. It's just going to be a pathway that you walk on through the natural plant.
All right, so you don't need to get a lawnmower in there.
No, no need for
we don't mow grass.
Okay.
No, there's buffer plantings on both sides of the fence, so the fence will disappear into the plantings.
Okay. All right, any questions from the board? Comments?
Just out of curiosity, so the pool is about 4 foot out of the ground? Is that?
No, the pool's not 4 foot out of the ground. The pool is going to be out of the ground maybe 18 inches.
18 inches.
We're going to slope up the grade around this pool from what we dig out of the hole.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's only a 4 foot deep pool. It's a lap pool.
Well, I just see the elevation 8.25, and then I saw the 4 on the driveway. But otherwise, I mean, the plan's really detailed. You can see everything. So
yeah, I think you got a good Good
Yeah, good
landscaping
view.
package there too.
Yeah, this is done well. Thank you.
Okay, if there's no more questions or comments from the board, can we get a motion to approve this application?
I'll make the motion.
Can we get a second?
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
good luck with the
Thank you.
project. Happy swimming.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Let me just get the next one up here on my computer. Okay, next we have the application for Beechwood Onek LLC, 3 Fisk Avenue, for a 2-story, single-family dwelling, 5 bedrooms, 5 bath, 2 half-bath, over pile-supported crawl space with attached 2-car garage, fireplace, front and rear roofed-over patios with balconies above, rear roof over with fireplace and barbecue area, attached rear patio with swimming pool and integral hot tub with enclosure fence, sanitary system with fill and landscaping. Who's going to speak on this application?
Hi, my name is Barry Lenson. I'm here on behalf of Richard Kostra, and we are from Beechwood Onek LLC. We are the developers and builders of the 4-lot subdivision, and we are also building the Lot 2, which is the house adjacent to this house. But we can focus on Lot 3, also known as 3 Fisk Avenue.
Now, on the 4 lots, can you just please identify, this is on the south?
This is on the southwest corner where Onek meets Fisk, but along closer to Mauritius Bay.
Okay, so this is diagonally across from the other house that's under construction.
It is directly behind the house that's under construction.
Well, southwest?
Yeah, it'd be southwest. So you're on the corner of Onek and the bay.
Okay.
They're right at the end of Onek. The last house will be on the right.
Okay, if you could tell us about the application, please.
Sure. I heard you say before you wanted to start with the roof down. Is that your preferred
Yes.
order? Okay. We are proposing a standing seam aluminum roof in gray. We are proposing James Hardy siding in pearl gray with a stacked bluestone veneer. Around at the front elevation of the house, as you can see, surrounding the front door and the middle part of the house, as well as a stacked bluestone veneer on the chimney. The columns will be AZAC or equivalent, and they'll be painted to match the house. The windows that we are proposing are a Marvin Elevate casement series. We feel that a casement window is much more in line with the aesthetic than, let's say, a double hung, and it will provide the owner fantastic views of the bay. The front door is as shown on the rendering, and it will be mostly glass with glass side lights. That goes for the same for the exterior sliding doors that you can see along the back of the house. The porch ceilings or soffits, I'll say, are a 1x6 clear cedar. The soffits on the second level, the upper level, are going to be an AZAC painted gray to match the siding on the house. The decking in the rear of the house, as well as along the front of the house, will be a 5 quarter by 4 epay or equivalent, along with a stainless steel cable railing. The bluestone, I'm sorry, the walkways and patios will be either a bluestone, typical blue on blue bluestone, or a Barrasso architectural paver. And any remaining portion of the house where you have exposed foundation, we will do in a gray stucco. You can see the vision for the house if you flip through the, or we can share our PowerPoint presentation with you, where we can, walk you through the various elevations if the members of the board don't already have that.
You want to share your screen, you mean?
Sure. Sorry, I should have asked that we did that in the beginning.
It's fine with me.
If you don't mind, I'll just back up a little bit and take us back through the presentation so that everybody can kind of follow along this time. But Paulina, will you flip to the second screen, the second slide? So again, we are talking about lot 3 when looking at the slide, the back left corner, which is the southwest. Why don't you skip to the elevations? Here's an architectural elevation, front elevation of the house, followed by a rendering, a colored rendering, where you can see the vision for the front of the house in the gray color with the stone and the casement windows, the railings, and the plantings. And here you see a colored rendering of the rear elevation of the house with a slightly raised pool, so that when you walk out of the back of the house, you're exactly on grade with the pool. The pool sits elevated a little above grade, which you can see in a more detailed version if we go to the rear elevation of the architectural plan. Maybe not. Yeah, you can see the steps right there where the cursor is, showing that the pool is slightly elevated. And here is the west elevation showing the garage and the chimney, again in the bluestone. That's okay. The east elevation, which would face Onick Lane, is depicted in this elevation. And then the next slide is the material list, which I just went over. I'm not going to go through it again unless anybody has any questions. Moving on to the next slide is a picture or a sample of what the standing seam metal roof in a gray color will look like. Here is a picture of the hardy siding in pearl gray, and the stone, which is named stacked bluestone, has more of a grayish color to it than actual bluestone that you would see as a paver material or a patio material. So the name is a little deceiving, but that is what the manufacturer or the factory calls it. Again, here's the stone, same stone that we'll be putting on the chimney. This would be the trim, soffit material, and frieze board for the upper roof area in a gray that's going to match the siding. Our columns will be an AZAC painted gray like shown in the picture. And the next slide is just a casement window, which I'm sure everybody is familiar with.
Okay.
In this picture, you see an example of what we're going to strive for the front door to look like. It's clipped from the elevation. We don't have an actual cut sheet on the front door yet. We're working on that. The lower picture is a sample of the garage door. And here is, again, a sample of the stucco that would be shown on the foundation. This is the concept picture for the soffit that you will see on the first floor when looking up to the balconies that are above you. And the next slide is AZAC, which will be painted gray, and that will be the soffit material on the second floor, or the roof, I should say. And here is the epay deck material along with the railing. that you see throughout the house. And of course, the next picture is a concept photo showing bluestone surrounding a pool. And we're back to the stucco. So if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Okay, if you can go back to the board. Any questions, comments?
Nope.
Are you guys gonna have a cap on the retaining wall in the front, or is that just stuccoed around?
That small retaining wall there would just be stucco.
Okay.
Is there a landscape plan with this?
Sure. I'm sorry, we did skip over that. The landscape plan, which was done by Richard Ignatow, the landscape architect, shows European hornbeams planted in the front yard, and in the side, the left and right side yards, he has London plane trees along with privet, as well as an extensive foundation plan.
I don't think we have a copy of that, do we?
No, I didn't see it. I was just looking through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
We have it on
Oh, we have it. It's not
in the
colorized.
surveys, but it's not colored.
Yeah, I see.
Which is that, the second attachment?
I don't
Yeah,
know,
we
but I've
do.
I've got a copy of it.
It's on
We do
survey
have it.
landscape plan, the last attachment on those. What are you
Okay.
guys doing for a pool enclosure fence? Is that on there?
I don't believe we have a pool enclosure fence on the plan. We would be looking to do either a deer fence if it's permitted, or if it's not, then we would go with an estate fence, Jareth aluminum estate fence.
Well, I think the question is going to be, where is it going to go?
Yeah, because you're on the water and you have this whole roadside here, the fence is gonna be. Yeah, there's a lot of options. You have a lot of options here for that fence.
And we do need to know that.
Okay, well, with whatever we decided to do as a fence, we would, be more than willing to screen completely so that the fence is not visible from the roadside. So we could add the privet that you see on the left side of the house going all the way back to the bay.
Okay.
Well, we're going to want to see that.
Yeah, we have to add that to the.
We're gonna need that
in.
indicated on the plans.
Okay, we can certainly have the plans updated to show that.
That's the only questions I have.
Me too.
Okay. Anybody else, Mike?
I'm good.
Okay.
So excuse me, so the plans are gonna be updated to show the fence and the new plantings? So it'll identify what type of fence and the location?
Yeah, we will update the plans to show the exact location of the fence, and we'll bring the privet all the way along the left side, or another screening, whatever is acceptable to the board, so that the fence is not visible.
Okay, and identify.
Lisa, do we need to see that before we approve it?
It's up
Well,
to you, if you want to hold it over, but normally you would want.
what I would,
first,
what I
They haven't
would
even
do,
decided what fence they're putting in yet, and we don't know where it is, so it seems a little,
if everybody is comfortable with the house and the location of the pool and everything, my suggestion would be to make a motion to approve the application subject to receiving a layout on the landscaping plan of the fence, the proposed location, height, type by our next meeting, which is March 1st.
Okay.
Is that doable?
That's good.
Okay, so can we get a motion to approve the house and the pool? Subject
I'll
to
do that. I'll make the
receiving
motion.
a landscape plan which shows the type of fence and location of the fence by the next meeting.
I made the motion.
Very good. We have a second.
I'll second the motion.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank
Good
you. Have
luck.
Thank you.
a good evening.
If you
Good
could just take that off, yeah, you
There
go.
we go.
Just let me make a note here. So Kerry, we can keep that on for the next meeting for the landscape with the fence.
When you say keep on, you mean just put it on for the
Keep it on the agenda for a landscaping plan and fence.
Greg, I thought it was approved subject to receiving the landscaping plan.
Yeah, don't we want to look at it though? The next
Yeah,
meeting?
but we normally don't put it on the agenda, do we?
No.
No.
Okay. Okay, that's fine with me. All right, next we have the application for Samuel and Eleanor Williamson, 22 Sunset Lane. This is for a 2-story, single-family dwelling, 4 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, over a crawl space and finished basement with cellar entrance, 2-level screened porch, 2 fireplaces, roofed over front porch, 2-car garage attached by a breezeway, maintain existing pool and reconstruct patio at grade, install fence and landscaping. Let me get this up. Okay, who's going to speak on the application?
I will. I'm Ben Fuqua. I'm the architect.
Thank you.
So we have a house, a pre-existing house. There's existing small, approximately 1,200 square foot turn of the century farmhouse at the center of this lot. It's a relatively large lot flanked by Sunset Lane and Debbie Lane on the long sides. The family who owns the house, the Williamsons, and Eleanor is here. I can see her name at least. They've had this house now for some time and need to make it more permanent for themselves. So they've decided to take down the existing house and create something appropriately sized and conditioned for them. The new house is approximately 3,000 square feet. On basically centered on the site at almost in exactly the same location as the existing house. We've decided to go for a relatively traditional but kind of natural palette, starting with the roof using asphalt shingles for the main roof, with standing seam roof for the shallower pitches on the porches. Using a natural cedar siding with a semi-transparent stain to let the grain come through from most of the clapboard, with the trim being in an opaque stain, with Riverstone across the foundation and on the chimneys, painted shutters, and Marvin double hungs 6/6, relatively traditional. It is the pavers around the replacement pavers around the pool will be bluestone. The landscape plan, which we haven't really developed since our focus has been on the house itself. We're not going to be going into construction for a while, but we want to get our approvals underway. We planned on doing a landscape plan as a separate application. It's a very flat site. There's not much we can do in terms of things other than just plants. And that is pretty much it. That is the house.
Let me just get the site plan up here. So when you say, I'm looking at a plan that seems to show trees.
Those are all existing.
Okay, and you're going to supplement those?
Eventually.
Okay, so why can't we get an idea of what you're doing, similar to the previous application of what you're proposing here?
It's just that we're very early in the process with any landscape designer, and we just didn't feel like we were ready to present that when the pressing need is getting control over the house and all of those approvals.
Yeah, typically the landscaping is kind of part of the whole process of of this approval process.
I understand if it's necessary, if it's necessary, then we can certainly submit something soon.
Yeah, how long do you need?
That probably involves a conversation with my client and our landscape designer, who is probably very fresh to the party. So I don't have an immediate answer for you.
Well, could you have it by the next meeting? 2 weeks?
We can endeavor to try and make that happen.
Do you need
as far as the house,
4 weeks or what?
I 4 weeks would definitely be comfortable. 2 weeks might be a stretch.
Ms. Williamson, what do you think?
Got on mute.
I can hear you. Yeah, thank you. I think 4 weeks we could get it done.
Okay.
Okay.
The board comfortable with that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so do we want to make a motion to approve the application subject to receiving a landscape plan? And is the fence?
The fence will be a part of the landscape plan.
Bear with me a moment. I'm seeing a retaining wall.
I think that's
No?
like a box.
That's just a hedge. The landscape plan will have it clearly demarcated. It's unclear, and it's unclear in the site plan right now.
Okay, I see new retaining wall in the. That's not happening.
Greg, why don't we just have it held over until, give them the 4 weeks and give them time to come back with the plan.
The whole application?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's usually part of the whole application, and they really haven't addressed anything at this point. And it sounds like they have, if they have 4 weeks, they'll be able to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we can get a motion.
So that sounds good.
I'm sorry, Chris.
I was saying, as far as the house itself, we have no issue with the house itself. So, I mean, we know that's fine. And then we'll just go to the landscape plan when you get it.
That's what I was suggesting.
Yeah.
Rest of the board, Mike?
I think if we, I'd build a house and get the landscape plan. In 4 weeks.
Allegra,
I'd say let's see in 4 weeks.
for the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, it looks great so far, but
Yeah,
it's
okay.
incomplete.
Okay, Andrea, you good with that?
Yep.
Okay, so can we get a motion to hold over this application for 4 weeks, which I think brings us to March 15th?
I'll make the motion.
Can we get a second?
I'll second it.
Those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you in 4 weeks.
Okay. So no further business. Can we get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second the
We have
motion.
a second.
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good night,
Take
everybody.
care.
See you.
Good night.
Rest up there, Craig.
Yep, feel
Thank
better.
you. Thank
Feel
you.
better,
Thank
Greg.
you.